our first connection with Africa is the Bible. It's not 200 people where it coming from the masses of the people. Where you want to the shoemaker them, want to the tailor them, want to the dressmaker them. Nobody in the audience could have stepped forward and tell me, say, me Havana pants will make it at Jamaica. Where we come to Rasta, and this now come amongst, like, the middle class, you know, this will come like most poor people, you know, because the middle class people get them tailor and get them dressmaker for make clothes for them, you know. Designer clothes too, you know. Yeah, we know that, you know. So there's something wrong that them turn the masses of the people away from themselves. And that is what we did want to talk about, when we did talk about now. How we relate history to ourselves. Because you have, I will repeat again, you have teachers in Jamaica that don't know no history before slavery happened. Them don't know nothing about Africa, and I should not take it back, you know. Them know about Africa before slavery, but them don't connect it with Africa. And that is the argument that I really want to bring forth to the Jamaican public, the Jamaican people, the Jamaican students and the Jamaican teacher, that when you start to talk about black history, you start to tell people, say, we came here as slaves. Right away, you put a certain complex subliminally in their mind. Black people came here as slaves. The only set of people that came here as slaves was black people. Indian came here as indentured laborers. There's a difference between indentured laborers and slaves. There's a difference between indentured laborers and slaves. So if the masses of the people came and become slaves here, that means that we are at the lowest level of the society. And if there is no connection between something that is good or developed or developing for these former slaves to hold on to, but the continuous pressure of, yes, we were slave, and yes, you know, say black people can't run no business, and yes, black people head picky, and yes, your ear no good, and yes, you're too black or ugly. There is going to be a society that have no confidence in themselves. And that is what is happening in the classroom. There is no confidence in self in the classroom where we talk about where the masses of the people attend. The parents them don't know one hell. The teachers them who should know don't know. That's why we're in a real serious dilemma, because look here now. Most of us first contact with Africa, and them don't teach in a school, is with the Bible. Now most youth in a Jamaica, if you try to connect the Bible with Africa to them see it as something way out. Oh, you gotta talk about Africa now, and you talk about the Bible. Them think there's Rasta talk. And if them say it's Rasta talk, them get turned off. Now a student is going to go to school, and them is going to invite Mutabaruka at them school. And Mutabaruka is going to go into that school and say, look here, how much people inside here don't say Egypt was in Africa? And nobody in the school, including some of the teachers, never know say Egypt in Africa. So, this student now is going to go home. And when the student go home, the student say, you know, guess who come to school today? Mutabaruka. And Mutabaruka tell me say, Egypt in Africa. And the parent is going to turn to the student and say, why are you listening to those boy? Them boy, they don't know nothing, you know, foolish, them I tell you. Cliffy, at that, the student is told that he must listen to me, you know. Don't listen to me because it's foolish. It's me want turn me want the person, the brother turn Rasta. That's why I tell the people that, you know. So when the youth go home now, and this is him influence, you know, because me just a visitor at school now, you know. And when me go tell the youth, say, watch a man, the me say, in all of you hearing about Africa, about Egypt, You never know, say, geographically Egypt in Africa. And them admit it. You see him one night when I come and I say, I was talking to some, you see, how the question come is because I was talking to some professionals, you know. Long before, I was talking to some professionals this month too. And the professionals, a youth, out of the whole of them, about 6 professionals along there, and I say, the brethren come and say, Muta, you know, since you say Egypt in Africa, because they didn't know say Egypt in Africa. And I was taken aback. Because I say, I mean, you can understand that I'm a teenager. But when a man reach like 30, 35, and him in a big business, big job and everything they know, and him not know that, then you know, say, why we have to rethink a whole heap of things. Alright. So me look on the youth now. When me come back on the radio now, a youth call me on the radio one night and say, Muta, you think say uncle him one never know that? Me never know say Egypt in Africa until you said on the radio. Now this might sound like a simple little thing, you know. Yeah, alright, look here now. So me I go now, me I go try find out for myself now. If this thing is a ignorance in a Jamaica, in the whole month me find out say most Jamaicans don't know say Egypt in Africa. Most Jamaicans. Me put my head on the block for that now. Because me go through the school them, me go through the community them, and me ask the same question. How much people inside here so know where Egypt is?
Most land mentioned in the Bible, they don't know say they never heard.
Alright, so we know, so we come to the reasoning now about the teachers them, that our first connection with Africa is the Bible. But we never make the connection. We never make the connection in the Bible. Because them don't teach it like it's Africa right there. As a matter of fact, there's a whole heap of books is written about Egypt, you know, and them separate Egypt from Africa. You see? So historically, white people write say the Egyptians them different from the African people. That is what them write, you know. Egyptians different from Africans. And we should know say that is lie because a great man named Shekinah Diop come prove them wrong by using the same scientific method for tests, ear strands and facial impressions and everything there. For sure you say well right now, the Egyptians them was black people. Until the Arabs them go inside of Egypt and the Hyksos them go inside it so and start to shift up and move the whole of a shipment and movement. But it's not even that we want to talk about. We want to talk about how a student in school is totally disconnected. One, he disconnect himself from history. He put himself in the part of history that was interrupted, which is slavery. Slavery interrupt African history. Slavery is not African history. It interrupt African history. So now, we know that as history. So we connect with self. Because the first thing, you know, you hear them say, we were brought here as slaves. We, you know. This is the only time when black people mention we in connection, you know. Because it's slavery, them say, we were brought here as slaves. You see, we don't want to go back to Africa, you know, because we never come from Africa. But we were brought here as slaves. So the student is taught that is we that. But no, him, over the years, he must go to church. And the church have a big influence on him. And the church are telling about these different places in the Bible. But not one Sunday, the pastor will come out and say, I know the Garden of Eden was in Africa. The pharaohs were kings in Africa. Them not saying that. So the lack of understanding and the connection is not there for a little youth who sit down and listen to this thing, including myself when I am youth. Because I never hear a preacher mention Africa pan a pulpit yet in relationship to myself and the connection that African people have with biblical places. So the student is left now with a total disorientation of self beyond 500 years. So beyond 500 years, there's no history of black people in the minds of African people in Jamaica. So when you tell a youth, say, boy, you know, say, alright, hear the question where I ask them. And it was amazing. It was amazing. And I have to share it with the people them. The question when I ask the youth them, what you know about Egypt? Them say, everybody put it, man. Egypt is a wicked place, sir. What you know about Pharaoh? Pharaoh is a wicked man like Prime Minister, sir. Right? Alright, so now, Pharaoh is, first of all, them never even know that Pharaoh is not the name of an individual person, but it's a title given to the kings of Egypt. So them never even know that. So when everybody go cross this, so you know, see, because we just want them get a consciousness of what we are dealing with now about Africa and geographically. So we're going to look on them now, we're going to say, how much people inside there know about geography? You know, one school we go, nobody inside there couldn't define what is geography. One school, and now I call the name of the school. One school, none of the people them could have defined what is geography. Alright. So, when we say, anybody inside there know geography? And we say, yes, sir. And them say, alright. So, we're going to draw a map. So, we draw a map. We draw a map of Africa. And to them now, it's like, why you bring up Africa in the Bible? You understand what I say, Cliffy? Why we are bring up Africa in the Bible? Because it's when you start to put in the name them of the country them now, like Egypt, Northeast, and you come right down and you put in Ethiopia now, and you say, Ethiopia is not a Rasta thing, you know. So you mustn't believe, say, if I say Ethiopia now, it's because I am Rasta why I say Ethiopia. But the first identifiable country name in the Bible is Ethiopia. My old grandmother Bible. We have whole heap of picture in there with the angel and Jesus and God and all them things there where Michelangelo paint. When you open it and it tell you about the Garden of Eden and the 4 rivers that encompass it, the river, the this and that, it mention Ethiopia. Maybe they have a different name now. Maybe they put Kush. And most people can identify Kush with Ethiopia. But those who know say it's Ethiopia that talk about still. Alright, so we hear about the 4 rivers and we hear about the rivers them. And now, because hear the next question when I ask the student them, you know, I ask them, say, anybody ever hear about Iraq? Everybody say, yes, sir. Bush invade Iraq. They say, alright, so they know something about Iraq. Anybody ever hear about Babylon? They say, yes, sir, Babylon are police. Is that some little youth, you know? Babylon are police. They say, alright, where's you hear about Babylon? They say, well, Babylon, sir, have a wicked people. Same like Egypt. Some say, anybody ever hear about the Nebuchadnezzar? They say, yes, sir. Nebuchadnezzar was the king of Babylon. Some say, if Nebuchadnezzar was the king of Babylon, and me say, Babylon was a place. Them never know that. And me I tell them, say, look here, if you listen to the news carefully, on CNN and BBC, you will hear that a lot of the soldiers them enter Babylon in Iraq. So the next question I ask them now is, what about Babel? You say, yes, sir, the Tower of Babel. God confused the language of the people them. I said, did you know that Babel was in Iraq? The only reason why you don't know is Iraq, because it never did name Iraq at the time. Just like how Iran never did name Iran. But if you should get a map, because you used to have the map in the Bible, you know. They used to have the Bible land them in the Bible, you know. The geographical location, them old time Bible used to have it in there, right? But even though these places geographically was shown by picture in the Bible, the masses of the people never connect it. And them the person standing up on the pulpit never allow them to connect it. Because Africa is not supposed to represent anything outside of slavery. So we look on them now, we say, alright, did you know that the pharaohs, if it's African, it's black people. It's black people. It's not Caucasian people inhabit Africa. It's black people. And the Ethiopians went down into Egypt and occupied Egypt. So it's black people we are talking about. Alright. So we will show them now, say, well, most of the time when we think on Bible people, it's white people we think on. That is without a say, without doubt. My granny sit down on the veranda and she really believes that Jesus is a white man. She really believes that Moses is a white man. She really believes that Pharaoh is a white man. She can't connect no black nothing past slavery. Most Jamaican people from the masses will read Bible and die for this Bible and sit down on them veranda right now at age 80, 70. Sit down. Don't connect these stories with Africa. Because all them know about Africa is that Africa is a place where wild people there, naked people run up and down, people eat people there, and then no white people bring them on here so and turn them in a slave. So we're trying to make the student now come out of that mindset. And the teacher must allow the student them to come out of that mindset before them can take them into something higher. Because this is now the biggest part of the pyramid. The basic part of the pyramid. Where the student have to connect themselves in history. You have to make the student, just like what you tell them, say, that's why the student say, start out and say, we came here as slave. Him have to know, say, we build the pyramids. That is what the student have to know. The student say, we came here as slave. The student have to know, say, is we build the pyramids. The student have to know, say, is we invent mathematics. That is what the student have to know. You cannot disassociate these things from the African tradition. Because the Chinese man, no care how you hear the Chinese man say, I'm a Jamaican. He's a Chinese man. And him no feel no way when you say Chinese man. And him never go to China yet. Most of the Chinese people will take up residence in the ghetto. Chinese are the bravest of people in Jamaica. Because when anything I go on and so them, in a film community, them still there with them grocery shop. And them dead still, and them dead still. So the Chinese man is known as a Chinese in Jamaica. Without any apology, you have them Chinese Benevolent Society, appear Chinese people go there. And when the year done, them celebrated the house of the year of the cow, the year of the rat, the year of the donkey, the year of the this and the year of the that. Nobody feel any way when Chinese people celebrate them Chinese thing, even though them never got to China yet. The majority of Jamaican Chinese never got to China yet. But them know the language and them know how to celebrate. With them now celebrate things where them celebrate things where them come on and come learn, you know. But most of the time when Chinese celebrate, it's things that happen inside of China, you know. When them celebrate the New Year, you know, it's not Anya to them come create the New Year, you know. Them celebrate the New Year where them celebrate in a China. The Indian people is the same thing in a Jamaica. Indians celebrate Diwali. And nobody don't feel no way when the Indian them celebrate Diwali. When them Indians celebrate them this, when the Indians celebrate them that. You look on an Indian woman in a Jamaica, she will have on same traditional outfit, and a little spot in her middle or forehead, and all these things, and them gold, and them nice, and them have them own name, and all these things. And you call them Indian. When I was a youth, you know, a pure Indian run Olympic gardens, you know. When them call Waterhouse, so now go right up the sun, you know, from 3 miles. Pan Olympic, we go right up, you know, a pure coolie, them used to call them coolie. A pure coolie used to live at Olympic Gardens, you know, Rasta.
You used to watch them care coolie Hussein.
Yes. And them used to plant enough calalo out there. When you want Sunday morning, you see whole heap of black people going out there, coolie cut them calalo and a sell. But them know, so them are Indian. Them never go to China yet. Them never go to India yet. But we used to go buy rice down at Westmoreland. A pure Indian we go buy rice from, you know. A community of Indian in a Westmoreland. We just rice them plant and rice them say. But you call them Indian. And them don't feel no way. You never hear, you go up on a Chinaman and say, boy, Chinaman. You never hear him say, don't call me no Chinaman, you know, me a Jamaican. You never hear a Chinaman say, don't call him no Chinese, him is a Jamaican. Likewise the Indian. The Indian keep that in him forever and ever. Amen. Alright. Jamaican black people is the only set of people that refuse to identify themselves with a landmass where them ancestors, where them forefathers come from. Cause we see that landmass with bang belly picnic, flying a mouth, enough AIDS, enough epidemics, slavery, All sort of thing we see it as. So who want to connect with these things? Nobody no want to connect. If this is all that Africa has to offer, why should I associate with Africa? If Africa is a place of starvation, AIDS, starvation, and everything, I don't want to associate with it. But that is what I know. Now make a move beyond that. What is beyond that? Is there education in Africa? Is there, I mean, what is the history of Africa? Before Europe underdeveloped Africa, Africa was striding before the first Portuguese ship go into Africa. Africa was on the move. And make we evil cause the Arab them. And the Arab them come inside of Africa and create a stable African society in the north and move going to Europe and culturalize Europe. The Moors never did enslave the Europeans them, you know. Them help to build European culture. When the Europeans them did I use letter as number, the Moors them going to show them how to use number. Imhotep.
And sew back when they do surgery.
Yeah, them sew back the thing. But even if you see, you remember I don't know if you did see the documentary and how the Egyptian them preserve the body. Yeah. Thing. All right. Yeah. So we look on the student and we say, student, look here now. If Pharaoh was black, then Moses was black too. So the student say, oh, you know that, sir? We say, all right, make a look on the story. Moses' mother take him and send him down this river. And who find him? Pharaoh's daughter. Pharaoh's daughter take him as her own and say, look you now. I'm going to tell you no handmaid say, anyone I don't know ever go out there and tell people say, I know my picnic. I'll be beheaded when I get beheaded. You know if you know that. Alright. So Moses grew up in Pharaoh's palace, believing that he was an Egyptian. And no one knew, included Ramesses, that Moses was an Israelite. So the logic is, if there was a difference in color between the Egyptians and the Israelites, Moses would have get her from him a picnic. Everybody that look, what say, what is a jacket? Nobody can fear a picnic can look, so or shall I say a fear a picnic. You know, to say the picnic are Israelite, him white. But not go say that the story. So we follow that logic right down to the T, you know. That the Israelites and the Egyptians was of one hue, one color. That is what we follow. And we follow the DNA and the genetic test that is tested by these people now. And we realize that the Egyptians were black people. So, the student must know that if the Egyptians were black people and the Israelites were black people, therefore they are connected to these people. They are connected. We have to teach them that look here, we are connected because this is the book that them give away. Them give you a Old Testament, them call it. The Christian them say a Old Testament. The Jew them say it's a Torah. And them show you geographically that there's certain things happening in this book that happen in certain places. And this is the book that the student them is familiar with. The student them is familiar with the Bible. Them familiar with Egypt. Them familiar with Babylon. Them familiar with Babel, Tigris River, Euphrates River. All of these places them familiar with. So it is now the duty of the teacher to connect geography with history. Because that is what is always presented. It is the stories as presented as historical and happening in a specific place. Geographical. So, you can't just teach history and now show the geography. Because the geography now will make the connection. Because the things that are happening in Europe, and you say, well, you know, Moses and Pharaoh used to live in Europe. Right away, your imagery change. You know, see, if you didn't tell the man, say, boy, I don't know, say, Pharaoh come from China. And him name Mr. Yap. You think say anybody on here so would have any confusion in their mind? How Pharaoh look? If the Bible did say Pharaoh come from China, Rasta, and him name Mr. Yap or Mr. Chin, no confusion in nobody mind how Pharaoh look. So why is it that because Pharaoh black, confusion must be in the minds of the people who connected to Pharaoh? Or we get these craziness, where we get it from? Or is it that nobody now go over this thing, you know, and it looks simple to a whole heap of people, you know? Because I say, well then, but this is a simple thing. Watch your man. Marcus Garvey say, a people without a knowledge of them history is like a tree without root, man. We have to go back. We have to step back, man, and look on the whole thing and realize, boy, we get caught in a quagmire where right now, them show you one thing and you accept it. And when you really open your eye wide, you realize, boy, this thing is not the real thing or the only thing, you know. Or the sum total of the thing, you know. Because there's other things there to know. So them give you 2 and hold back 1. Them give you 3 and hold back 2. Them give you 4 and hold back 3. So meanwhile you feel, say, boy, right, but look how much we get now. Yeah, you see, we are getting enough now, but you're not getting enough. Because you still say, we came here as slaves. But you can't say we build the pyramid.
It's like the same issue where your religion still, you know, because you never look on it when you say, a man say God is a spirit. But when you say he,
you put gender upon it, and you tell them, so what is he? You know, so when I brethren catch up in a car, me and my lady are reason to the brethren, and them say, yeah man, but you know, see the spirit, and she say, and me say, so what farm the spirit was in? He must say, the spirit never had no farm. He said, but you can't say something if it not have no farm. She said to him, no, you can't say something without farm. He said, yeah, you can't say something without farm. He said, but that is crazy. How can you see something and it don't have no farm? So for you say that spirit, it means say you can't see it. But then no, if you say you see it, the question is, what farm was it in? You see, you can't separate farm from seed. You know, see, the idea of seed is because the thing is in farm. You know, see. So, look here, you try to go around it and come around it. From a man, say, see a spirit. What farm the spirit is in? It's simple. There's no go around and come around it. You can't tell me now, say, but the spirit never in a farm. What you see? But you see something. It's either you see something, someone, you can't see somewhere. That can get crazy, you know, see it. So the student get caught in a situation where, because the preacher, firstly, because I said before, I never hear a preacher get up on the pulpit yet when I a youth. I never hear a preacher get up yet and mention the word Africa in my mouth. Never. And me go Sunday school every Sunday when me a little picnic. And me go a Baptist church at Jonestown every Sunday when me there my granny. And me go a Roman Catholic Cathedral church on Nard Street every Sunday when me there my mother. And me never hear the word Africa come out of one of them mouth there. The only time me hear the word Africa is when me go watch a Tarzan show. Yes. Because Tarzan show now, I show you a little white guy, we attack to animal them, and I kill enough alligator, enough hippopotamus, enough lion, and I kill some black people. And the black people them so passive, that this little white guy who don't come from England named Lord Greatstock could have wiped out a whole set of people, and I defend them against white people. This white guy I defend him against white people. So you have this white man named Tarzan, you have this little youth named Boy, you have a woman named Jane, and you have a cheetah. So most of we identify now, not with the black people them in the movie, you know. We don't identify, we never yet identify with the black people them in the movie, even though it's for them place. It's for them land. But we never identify. Just like how we don't identify with the Native American them when we go watch Cowboy Show. We don't identify with them because we always know say the Indian them are going to get wiped out. Imagine what them call it, bandwagon, a wagon train, a move, with about 50 people in there. And you know, say, a gun hold 6 bullets. And it's only about 5 man in there, so I've gun, you know. And so it's 5 gun with 6 bullets. 5, 6 is a 30, that bullet, you know. And so you look on the inside, thousands of Indian, you know, Rasta. And so when the Indian them start charge, you see them 30 bullet there. It kill all 500 Lombard. And you pray. Because when you see the Indian them are dead and a drop like fly, Rasta, you feel good, you know. But you see, if one of them Indian there, if I chew a spear, chew one of them canvas and kill one little milky white woman inside it, so it's like the movies, it's like nobody now fire no shot round that area, they get it up. Because them give the white man time to go over the woman and I tell her, say, oh, I'm this, that, and don't die and all that. Like no more bullet now, no more axe now fly around me, though. You know, see, right at that point in time, the war cease until him can make this pronouncement around him. But it's like a wicked thing. It's like, bad. Look how them just kill white woman, Rasta. No, so them wicked, Rasta. Them just show the spirit and just kill white. And you know, remember, say, thousands of Native American that dead out the side of Rasta. And the one little white woman, the whole movie stopped. The action of the movie stopped just to come center right round now. This little woman was dead right just now for 1 spear. And you now see how much dozens, but it's 30 bullet kill so much, you know. 30 bullet kill like 200-300 Indian, you know. And we never yet associate the Indian them with America. Like it's for them land. Yeah. Nobody not tell you that, you know. Them tell you part of the story, you know. Them never show we say, look here, we are African. And you see the people them with Tarzan go there. Go live monks, we teach him how to swing pan with and them thing there. It was African people them. We don't associate with African. We don't associate with the people them who Tarzan go see. We associate with boy and Jane and maybe all the cheetah too. Maybe if we associate with the cheetah, the monkey would have better have because the monkey come from Africa. But we couldn't even see ourselves in the monkey. So this teacher now, including the person who don't show the congregation say all them things that are going on in Africa, but just tell them about it haphazardly. So now, when you start to show them geography in history, this is the impression, this is the talk now, say boy right now. Mutabaruka Rasta, and I'm tell you them things every time why you turn Rasta. You know see it? And this have nothing to do with Rasta, you know. It has something to do with history. It has something to do with geography. Look here. Egypt. You hear in the Bible about Egypt. And you hear about Pharaoh. And you hear about the Israelites. Them in Egypt and do this and that. Egypt is in Africa. Why it's so difficult to say that? Why is the preacher scared to stand up on him pulpit and mention Africa in their mouth to the congregation? And tell them, say, the Egyptians were black people like you in the congregation. The Israelites were black people like you in the congregation.
Where do you guys get the thing for Africa?
What do you mean by that? You know, it's a thing. It's a thing. And the more we go inside of the communities, and the more we bring up these things, it's the more we realize how naive the people them is towards something that them know about. But because it never go further into the reasoning, them get dislocated, totally dislocated. You know? So when a group of people in Jamaica can relate to themselves as we in slavery, but not we as in Egypt or we as in Ethiopia, it's weird because Rasta did always say, we are African. And we say, yeah, we are African, of course. We come from Africa. Not by free will, but by force. The Jamaican is always saying, me no African, but we come here as slave. It's kind of strange, you know, Rasta. We no African. Me no African. That is what I'm saying. Me no African. He refused to say it because the Chinaman will always say him as a Chinese. But the black Jamaican will refuse to say him as an African because the first thing he must say, me are no African because me never was born in Africa. That is what them use and catch you now. If a cow born in a pig pen, he is still a cow. If a cow born in a pig pen, him could have do like we all pig and do little more. Him still when go give milk. Him still when go moo. Him still is a cow.
You see one kind of pass to him probably join the group and gone.
Because they know that did happen. Wait there. And that did happen to Moses. And that did happen to Moses, you know. Because Moses born in Israel, him is in Egypt, him still an Israelite. And him when he realized it one day, just a feeling in him, you know. It's a feeling in him, you know. Make him kill the man, you know. Because he might look on the thing and I say, but wait, what kind of thing this? Because he thinks that when he go kill the man, he didn't know him Egyptian. He don't know him an Israelite. He grew up for 40 years believing him was an Egyptian. According to the Bible, it's 40 years him live in Egypt. Before him realize him is not an Egyptian. So all I'm life, all I'm understanding about life, all I'm understanding about God, all I'm understanding about culture, all I'm understanding about dressing, wearing clothes, eating food, all of that was steeped in the Egyptian way of life. 40-year-old him was. But Jamaican black people can't see themselves in that part of history. You see, if you tell Jamaican black people, say, look here, you didn't know, say, you have some black people, we're going to Europe, go teach Europeans how to bathe in baths, public baths, and how to write numbers and letters separate. Did you know you have a man named Emotep, who was the father of medicine? That all of these guys, did you know that Pythagoras theorem come from Egypt? That Pythagoras go study in Egypt for 20 odd years and go back to Greece as a great mathematician? Did you know that all of these people who the world now recognize as great philosophers and scholars of understanding human behavior and human design, most of them in those days went to Egypt. Egypt, them go. Which part Egypt there? In Africa, sir. That is where you must answer. Africa, that is where Egypt there. In Africa. Which part you come from? Where your foreparents come from? Where your ancestors come from? Africa, sir. Simple. You make the connection. The connection make a difference to the psychology of the subliminal. You understand? The connection make a difference to the psychology of what is subliminally implanted in you. The subliminal is something where you don't know, say that, you know, but at a given point in time, it come up as the conscious. So them say the subconscious and the conscious. Sub is under. So under that consciousness, there's a subconsciousness that don't reveal itself until a specific time or a specific event happen. Then you see it rise up out of you. And that is what African people in a Jamaica need. Them need a psychology of difference. A psychology of difference that connect them to time and space. There must be connection. There must be a connection. In order for the people them to look on themselves in a different way and behavior, the behavior pattern change, they have to have a historical reference point. You cannot start at slavery. Because if you start at slavery, it means black people don't have no hope and salvation. Because them history is only about slaves. Inferiority. Black no good. picky head, black pepper green, Jesus white, the devil black. So you get this mindset of we versus them. And them is the civilization. Them is the builders of what we call civilization. And we is just users of wood and water, and we must just sell ground provisions and sell fish. That is how them send me to. Them send me to that. And we accept it. And you have teachers who teach that. And the student them can't see that. So the student them rebel. Jamaica is based upon a gunmanship. The first governor of Jamaica was a thief named Henry Morgan. The first governor of Jamaica was a criminal who was on the seas, the Caribbean seas, robbing, raping, and stealing, and carrying him wealth into Port Royal. This is not the first time Jamaica is known to be the wickedest place on earth. Port Royal was known to be the wickedest place on earth during pirate days. This is in Jamaica still. Port Royal. Imagine Jamaica take a full cycle and come round now. Come here, say Jamaica is one of the wickedest places on earth, alongside South Africa, where South Africa have millions of square miles, thousands of square miles, and Jamaica is only 140 and 52 miles wide. And we now keep up with South Africa. We have about 40 million people. In how much people we murder per month? 100 people are dead per month, 30 are dead per week. There is no, we're disconnected. We're disconnected from history. We're disconnected from ourselves. Them disconnect with total disconnection. We don't have no self-value, self-worth, self-esteem. We still are working inside the inferiority complex. And even though Marcus Garvey tell you, if you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence you have won, even before you have started. Marcus Garvey said that from in the 20s. If you have no confidence in yourself, man, you are twice defeated, man. Twice, not once. Twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence you have won even before you have started. Black people get disconnected. So them don't have no confidence in themselves. Because the history that is brought to us disconnect from reality, from self. So we don't have no confidence in self. So we get twice defeated in the race of life. Can you imagine if we did have confidence? Confidence can only come about through example. Most children get confidence through example. It's either somebody do the thing and show them say it can work, or them do it before and realize it can work. So confidence is what you call building up your self-esteem. Because you have example of that. And when you don't have no example, for sure, when a man teach about history, man, and you can't see yourself in that history, man, it takes us years to see a black man in a heaven. Because every book, my granny used to have some big Bible, man. And you see the picture of them of Jesus and the angel, them and Michael, the archangel, all of them things, and Mary and Joseph and all the things them where you see, Noah and I'm Hark and all of it. It's pure white people. You never see a black person in them Bible there yet. Then how the hell I have to read a Bible and see these people in there? How am I going to connect myself with what's inside this? So? I cannot do it. You go, we used to see some people on the Jehovah's Witness them and sell their wake, the Watchtower magazine them. And when you look on the Watchtower magazine, you open, you see like a family, a little white lily family, with the father, the mother, sister, and brother, and a little dog. We look like Lassie. You understand? So, you all thinking, because black people on the roadside that sell this magazine, you know. And they tell you about awake. Awake to Jehovah's Witness. You're a witness for God. But when you're looking at it, you never see yourself yet. Devil. Him a devil. Who you afraid of in a drunk no more? The devil, the one who have the blackest outfit. I am afraid of. All the other one who jump over the whole part feather and the whole part this and that. You're not afraid of them. And the devil, when devil come, him come black and wicked. You understand? So you can't see yourself. You can't see yourself, brethren. You can't see yourself. So we're going to get some new crop of teacher from who understand. Who understand. Say, watch ya. In order for you to understand history, man, and know history, and really check history. Because the reason why the degradation there, you know, because black people see themselves in a slavery. So because you're connected to slavery, you almost like you live out a slave experience. Even though slavery is supposed to be done. So you don't have no white man over here with no whip, you know. Yeah, you connect yourself with slavery, so you live out a slave. It's like subliminally you live out a slave experience. Even though no white man out there they lick you, and no white man out there they tell you nothing. Even the people them who them put over way. Sometimes wickeder than the white people them. The black people them will roll over you. Wicked. They might carry out the wickedness for impress the slave master. So the black people them sit down now and is that them have a feed them subliminal. It a feed them. So them connect themselves to slavery. Nobody not say the African them was in slavery, you know. Everybody say we was in slavery. But when you start to tell them now about the glory of African people, your ears say, boy, right now, that are them. Them people there in the Bible. You understand? Fear of them was some wicked people. The Babylonians was some wicked people. You know see? The confusion in the minds of the people them. Get them confused because these people is not real people. It's people where you try to attain. So you ever notice that when them have put these pictures in the picture, you see the man head at about 45 degrees and look up in the sky. It's like the man is bench height, you know, it's like the man look up at the sky, so 45 degrees in the sky. You see the whole family, everybody, the dog too, you know. And the dog look up at the sky in the rasta. Can you expect say Jesus to come down to come save me, you know? Say, come down, Jesus, come down and save me. Because this look for the earth and today it's so cruel. I make the earth, you know. And the earth get wicked, you know. And the man come save me from him one wickedness where him create, you know. You know what I see? So black people sit up there and pray and I hope. So one day, this guy gonna come down and come save them. White supremacy, you know. White supremacy. And maintain itself in the minds and the consciousness of black people. And black people allow it to happen. And now them have teachers. When a teacher will tell you, say, boy, right now, boy, I may follow the curriculum, you know. That means him not have nothing for the student, you know. More than say, watch out, this is where him come, this is where I get paid for, and this is where I'm going to do. The curriculum him a follow, for pass exam and that is it. Him not nothing else for no student. It's a serious thing. You have to look into it. You have to look into it because me never know the day when Rasta man is going to get invited to come to school, come talk, to picnic. Because me remember the days if a Rasta was sent up at school, man. Police come immediately. The teacher call them from the staff room. Excuse me, is this the police? There's a Rasta standing up out of the gate, sir. Little more. Hey, you know, the police come quicker when Rasta involved in the madness than when the other people involved in it. Because when you report a Rasta man in a Rasta, police come quick, you know. If you report somebody else, you have to wait long, you know. You understand? So when the Rasta man stand up at the gate, if not do nothing, all him do that talk about peace and love. Peace and love. Hey, listen last to the first. Peace and love. Peace and love. Them just come and just scrape him up and say, move from the gate, boy. Eh? Move from the gate. Where destroy the people them find them school? Move from the gate. Me never know some other live to say Rasta walk going to school now as guests for talk to school students. So what was it that they were missing? Maybe 30, 40 years ago. What was there that they were missing? Because it's the same thing we attack. What would they attack 30, 40 years ago? Haile Selassie, Africa. Love my brethren, love my sister, get rid of oppression, get rid of white supremacy. That's the same thing we say. So how come now? We alright to talk to them children, you know, but them children are alright to turn Rasta. And now them want to take a dead Rasta man and fight over him. Yeah. You know, see, this dead body and this dead Rasta man supposed to be this glorious thing for them as a symbolism of Jamaican heritage and Jamaican culture. All of a sudden, you know that picture where you have in your office? I want to take it and go walk up and down the street with it in a Rasta, with Bob Marley, with the big spliff in their mouth, the tourism board picture there. Because you see them have a big picture now with Bob Marley, with a big spliff in the picture in their office. Yeah. And underneath it, Jamaica. And we say, but this is a tourism picture. So how come them can use a Bob Marley picture with a ganja spliff in their mouth to advertise Jamaica? But them still arrest people for spliffing at their mouth. What kind of contradiction is a mix-up, confusion, double, triple message to the people them. It's either you don't deal with it or you deal with it. But you can't now come use one of Rastafari greatest icons and then twist it round. And then the thing we have in our mouth illegal. But you use it to project your little come to Jamaica, one love, one heart, let's get together and be alright. And you say people are get served with coconut jelly and all them thing there. And there's a little black man that serve the coconut jelly. You know see, it kind of get wicked. It wicked Rasta. So we just have said to the people them of Jamaica that in this time of Black History Month, we who get the chance to sit down and reason and really communicate, especially teachers and preachers. We are begging no man to take a stock and take a look on how you know was teaching, what you know was teaching, and if what you know was teaching, if it did connect to the youth them right now. The story wasn't so hard. The story wasn't so hard, man. I want to make it bleed. I want to make it bleed because the youth never feels that him a bleed. The youth never feels that him a cry. Him feels say somebody else. So I tell the story. And I tell it in my way. Because everybody have for them way. There was a city that was plagued with rats. Rat all over the place, rat everywhere, rat every day, whole heap of virus and disease, and everybody gets sick because of the whole heap of rat them. Like Knutsford Boulevard. Enough rat everywhere. And the leaders call the musicians and say, play with your music that can get rid of these rats. And the musicians play. And them play. And all the rat them go right to the sea and drown. But the musicians were promised to be paid by these politicians and these preachers. Them say, when you get rid of the rats, the sickness of the population will cease. We will pay you. So when the rat them gone, and the musicians them go for them pay, these leaders of the city say, look here, we don't have nothing to give you, you know. We don't have nothing at all to give you. So the musicians stay there and suffer. So the musicians say, all right, we're going to play a different song. We're going to play a different music. And you see them play the different song and different music. All of the children them get caught with the music and follow the musicians them. And the people of the city and the leaders of the city say, what kind of music that you now play? You know, to say the music are corrupt the children them. We want back with children. And the musician say, pay away where you owe away. And we will release the children. Because it's not we do the wrong. We get the work done, you never pay away. Now we play a different song. And you bleed over your children. Now the only way your children will get released is if you pay away. This is the cutting edge.